What is up, you guys? And welcome to my podcast for How to Love a Battered Woman. My name is Nia Renee, and I told y'all we were going to get into some things, okay? I need to talk to you guys about some shit. I've been dealing with a lot of stuff, been going through a lot of stuff, and I just need to let y'all in. I need to let y'all in to understand what's going on in the world of Nia Renee, in the world of How to Love a Battered Woman, okay? All right, you guys, don't judge. I got me a glass of wine. Maybe y'all can go get y'all a glass of wine real quick before I continue. Don't judge me. I'm going to be sipping on some wine. I'm in my comfy sweatsuit tonight because I'm cold than a bitch. It's cold as fuck. I don't know what happened. Texas all of a sudden decided it wanted to be Colorado. It's like 22 degrees outside. I am not with the shits. For my chronically ill battered hearts out there, y'all know what it's like when the weather changes and it gets cold real motherfucking quick and you just not ready for that shit. And your whole body is hurting and you're freezing to death and you're cold. That's what I'm going through right now. Okay, so I'm going with the comfy casual today. I'm chilling, I'm vibing, I'm doing the damn thing. And yeah, so I just need to, we got to talk, you guys. Okay, well, first of all, I look motherfucking cute. All right. Like well, that's what we're doing in 2022. We gassing ourselves up. We hyping ourselves up. We letting each other know how we feel. And we're speaking self-love into ourselves. We're speaking all of that energy into us. Okay. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do in 2022. So we just going to start with that. Bitch, I look cute. Okay. With my little, you know what I'm saying, free Macy's sweatsuit on, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Macy's. But I just wanted to talk to you guys because I have been just dealing with a lot of stuff inside my own head. And not a lot of you guys have gotten to a place where I've been able to get to, and that's being in a relationship post-abuse. And that is the hardest shit in the world, is being in a relationship post-abuse, because you are doing your absolute best at being present, but when you get triggered or when something triggers you and then it's just in your mind and you know what I'm saying, it's difficult. And I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I struggle a lot, and I am so thankful for my boyfriend. We actually had a discussion today about how we were just so happy that we were able to discuss a lot of stuff with each other. But if I'm being quite honest with you guys, I still got a lot to work on in here, in my mind, in my heart. I still have a lot of things that I need to work on. Healing is not linear. Like, that shit goes up and down and down and up and up and down and down and up. It's gonna do that. And so I've just been really, really, really fucking struggling. And so I'm gonna just let you guys in with that today, because I've been going through a lot of shit. I've been dealing with a lot of shit. I've got a lot of shit on my mind, and I am so ready to call up my therapist, schedule my first, excuse me. Oh my God, the wine's getting to me already. Get my first session in of 2022, because I just, I've got a lot on my mind. So I have a lot of control issues, and I really started paying attention to that recently, is that I have a lot of control issues, because the people that I have dated in my past relationships, they didn't give a shit about me or my shit. I've had people break my stuff. I've had people it was my money. I worked my ass off for it, and they didn't care. And I didn't realize that I was carrying a lot of that around with me in my current relationship with my amazing boyfriend, who's sexy as hell. He's so nice. He's tall. He's got the beard. He's bald like me. You know what I'm saying? We Brandon out here, the baldies. Y'all are going to get a podcast for us, by the way. Just don't tell him I told y'all though. Anyway, so yeah, it's just, I don't know. I feel like I have an unrealistic expectation, and I struggle with that, and it causes me to be a different person. And I actually kind of opened up to him about this today for the first time. And I don't know, like, I know that I have a lot more work to do on myself. I just have a lot more work to do, because it's unfair that I feel like I'm just waiting for him to fail. I'm waiting for him to do something that's going to be like, I told you you were going to mess up. I told you were going to fuck this up. Like, and that's such an unfair expectation to have on someone, especially with someone that I've been in a relationship with for almost a year and a half, that has done nothing but love and adore me and treat me well and give me the respect to have conversations with each other. We've never had a screaming match. We've never had an argument. We've had disagreements. We get on each other's fucking nerves sometimes, but that's how relationships are supposed to go. You know, not everybody's going to get along all the time because we are our own people. And I realize that I am my own person. And when I get into my own person, it be the smallest shit that irritates me. And I have to like look at that and reevaluate that and try to understand why that is. Like, why? Bitch, why are you doing all that? Like, you doing the fucking most. Like, I really have to take a step back and analyze that because it's unfair. It's so unfair. And I feel like it's an expectation that doesn't need to be there. Like, that expectation does not need to exist. And that's just extremely unfair. And so as I'm moving forward, as I guide through 2022, and I'll keep you guys updated with what's going on, with my progress on that, like I really have to reevaluate just a few things and why I haven't completely let my guard down with him all the way. And baby, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm working through it, and you're phenomenal, and you've been amazing through our whole entire relationship. I just don't think I've fully let my guard down with him yet, especially because like we're living with each other. We've been living with each other since I want to say May, but it still doesn't seem like we've lived with each other long enough, and we haven't because he moved in May of 2021, and then we moved to Texas in August. So the whole time that we were living together, I was in back to back surgeries, and he was trying to get into doing his own thing. And then all of a sudden we were getting up and moving to Texas. And then we were in a hotel for almost 3 months together. And then now we have our own house together. And so really, we've only really been living together for like 4 months. Like 4 months. And so when I look at it that way, when I look at things that way, when I have to bring myself back a little bit and realizing that like we got into our relationship. We met during a global fucking panorama, a panini, a pop, lock, and drop it. Like we met in a time where, yeah, we were together and around each other all of the time, but I don't know, it's different. Pandemic relationships are different. Let me just go ahead and tell y'all that shit right now. Pandemic relationships are fucking different, and they're dope as hell. But at the same time, I'm struggling a little bit. And it's like, I'm glad that I'm able to talk to you guys about this, because I always keep it real with y'all. Like I always keep that shit real with you guys, just to let you know like what's going on with me. You guys get to see me move in and out of relationships and not relationships, but this relationship and healing and just working through a lot of different stuff. So I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm fucking struggling. So I don't know what you guys like to do for self-care and self-love, but I know the thing that I love to do the most is I really, really, really enjoy journaling. I really enjoy just being able to sit there and write out my thoughts, but I haven't been doing that. I've been wrapped up in so many different things. You guys know I've been recovering from surgery. I've just been dealing with so many different things, and I haven't been giving myself that time and that self-care to really guide myself through my thoughts. And I think that's what I need to do in this scenario. I absolutely think that's what I need to do in this situation, is that I really need to sit there and evaluate, and I need to identify. And there's a lot of things that remind me of my birth mother, who was just the nastiest, meanest bitch on the planet. And she just was absolutely irritated and annoyed by everything possible. And I feel myself being like that. And I have to look at myself and I have to tell myself to cut that shit the fuck out, because it's not okay. It's not acceptable to be like that. But then I also have to realize, well, what's causing me to be annoyed like this? What's triggering me? What's making me feel this way? And so when you are able to break those things down, that's how you get to the bottom of your triggers. That's how you get to the bottom of your trauma. And that's how you get to a good place in realization that, like, okay, this is what I need to work on, and this is why I need to be this way, or why I need to work on this, or whatever the case is. Because especially when you get into a relationship with the man, the woman, the person of your dreams, you don't want to fuck that shit up. Like, you don't want to do it. And so, you know, the benefit of him and I is that, you know, we really talk to each other. We really communicate with each other. And what we did so early on in our relationship was we set boundaries immediately. I mean, we were dating for 2 weeks, and I was like, listen, I'm just letting you know right now, I don't do that yelling bullshit. I don't do that screaming. If we can't talk this out like two grown ass adults, then we don't need to be having a conversation. Like, this isn't the relationship for me, because I'm not going to do it. And he agreed. And, you know, you got to do that in relationships. You have to do that in your friendships. You have to do that in your personal relationships, your platonic relationships. You have to do that in all of your relationships. But setting boundaries are really hard. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about setting boundaries, because setting boundaries really feels dirty, and it feels gross, and it feels like, what, ew, why? Because a lot of us have that people pleaser complex. I have that people pleaser complex, or I used to, and it's not as much as it used to be, but it is still enough to where sometimes I have to walk myself back. So you'll hear me say that a lot, where I got to walk myself back. I got to walk myself back down. I got to walk myself back from, you know, a PTSD trigger. I have to walk myself back from a lot of different things. But that's what my podcast is for, you guys. We're going to talk about that. I'm so excited. But yeah, so I've just been struggling lately, and I have to reevaluate a lot of different things within myself, because those personality traits that I talk about, that you guys see in my skits, in the videos that I post on TikTok and Instagram, or if you happen to have found me through YouTube Shorts, I can't allow myself to succumb to that. And sometimes I really truly feel like I'm a lot like my last ex-boyfriend, because I see myself being so nitpicky, and I see myself just being so, and like, I hate it. But I'm being honest with myself, because if I wasn't sitting here talking and, you know, realizing these things about myself, then I would be that person. And when we come from the things that we come from, when you come from the trauma that you come from, when you come from the dirt, like I like to say, a lot of people equate that to money, but I also equate that to traumatic experiences. When you come from the dirt the way that I did, you have to unlearn a lot of behaviors. You have to unlearn a lot of things. You have to unlearn so many different fucking things. And that is a struggle. That shit is hard, because you have to, one, you have to realize the behaviors. Two, you have to sit there and think about why you're behaving that three. And three, you have to get yourself to realize that you need to start behaving differently. And that shit is hard. It's hard because a lot of us, we don't like to sit here and think to ourselves, like, we all think we're perfect. We all think that there's nothing that we could ever do that's wrong. Like, we all have that about us. We have that about ourselves. And sometimes you got to just tell yourself to get that shit, get your shit together, bro. Like, get it together, my dude. Like, what the fuck are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you really got to do that shit. And so that's what I've been having to do with myself a lot lately, and I feel like I've gotten too spoiled. You know, my boyfriend waits on me hand and fucking foot because I'm exhausted, or because I've just had a 38th surgery, or because I've just, you know what I'm saying? Because he gets it. And sometimes I feel like, you know, today I've been feeling a little bit better, and I'm going to be feeling better from my foot surgery and stuff like that. Then I got to start being and catering to myself again, because I'm getting too fucking spoiled. And anything I ask that man, he does for me. But you don't want to abuse that. You don't want to become that person that abuses the fact that someone will drop at you know what I'm saying? You have to respect their time, what they're doing, and what they have going on as well. You have to be respectful of that. And so, excuse me, I'm having to walk myself backwards from that and realizing that, okay, if you can walk, go get it. If you aren't, to the point where you can't, your eyes are barely open because you're too sleepy, then yeah, ask for some help. But if I could get up and go do it, then go do it. So when I tell y'all I have been struggling, but I have been realizing these things about myself. And that is important. I have been realizing a lot of these things about myself, and that shit is the most important thing that you could ever fucking do, is look at yourself, analyze yourself, and take a step back for a few minutes and be like, yo, what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? But you don't have to say it like that. Like, obviously, be nicer to yourself. You don't have to be abusive to yourself. But you really want to start thinking to yourself of like, okay, like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I behaving like this? Why did this trigger me? How did this trigger me? Where did this come from? You have to be aware of your body. You have to be aware of your mind, and you have to be aware of your soul. And that's one of the biggest things that I'm going to do in 2022 is be 100% conscious of the behaviors I'm accepting and the behaviors that I am giving. It's a two-way street. You know what I'm saying? My best friend, Katie Chelf, shout out to you, bitch. She has, I'm not flipping y'all off, I promise. I have an equal sign tattooed on my finger. And I got that from her. And what that means is I am no longer accepting anything that isn't equal to what I am giving. So what you give is what you get when it comes to me. And I thought that was so profound. And that's why I copied her tattoo, because I thought that was so profound. Because if it's a less than, I'm not doing it. We're not doing less than or equal to. We're not doing greater than or equal to. I'm going to give you what you give me. And this is going to be 100% you, 100% me in all of my relationships. And if you're not trying to get with that, you can go. Sorry, it's going to fucking suck. I hate it. But you could bounce. It is what it is. And so that's what it's all about. That's what 2022 for me is really about, is being conscious with myself, with what I'm giving and with what I'm getting. And that's how you learn how to set effective boundaries for yourself, and while still respecting other people, but also having way more respect for yourself. So thank you guys for letting me vent about that. Letting me get that off my chest. I've had a lot of realizations that I've been making a lot lately, and I have a lot of work to do. And, like I said, healing is not linear. Healing, it's going to go up and down and up and down and up and down, because you're constantly learning. You're constantly realizing things about yourself. You're constantly realizing your boundaries, everything around you, who's around you. Things are going to change. As the seasons change, people change, and that's okay. But you want to make sure that if it's not serving you, it's not deserving of you. And people might take that the wrong way, and thinking that, like, someone's not giving, then they don't deserve that. No, what I mean is that if it disturbs my peace, it's got to go. So if it's not serving of me, it's undeserving of me. And that's okay for relationships to part ways. Not everybody is meant for everybody. Okay? So I want you guys to take that with you. Jot that down somewhere, write that down somewhere. And just remember that if it's not serving you, it's not deserving of you. And if you got to protect your peace at all costs. But you also have to be very aware of yourself too, because you don't want to hurt the people that you love either, because you still have a lot of healing to do yourself. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and get up out of here. Get on with your day, or go to sleep, or wake up, or you know what I'm saying? Get to work, whatever, do what you gotta do. I love you guys so very much. I love you, Battered Heart, so very much. So y'all know what time it is. Drink you some water, get you some rest, and don't let nobody's dusty ass child treat you any kind of way, okay? Bye.